All right, it's our final pie of Pie Month. And if you missed any other pies, make sure you check them out down below. So what is chess pie? Well, it's actually a Southern favorite. And it is made with a buttery shortbread crust and a rich custard filling. And it's pretty addictive. In fact, it earns its nickname, which is crack pie, because it's so addictive. I think you're gonna love it. All right, we're gonna start with the crust first. And we're gonna use a 5x5 baking dish. So something approximately that size. And we're just gonna give it a nice, this is my favorite nonstick spray, light spray of that, and it'll be ready to go. All right, in our bowl, I have got 2.5 tablespoons of salted butter. We're gonna add into it 2 tablespoons of sugar. All right, we're gonna take our hand mixer and just mix that sugar and butter together till it's nice and creamy. And then into that, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of flour, a tablespoon of cornstarch, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And then just mix till it's nice and combined. So it's gonna just be kind of nice and crumbly. And we're gonna take that shortbread mixture and just pop it into our baking dish here and just press it flat into the bottom of the baking dish. Then we're going to put it in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven. And let me double check here. We are going to bake it for about 15 to 18 minutes, depending on your oven, until it's nice and golden brown. While that crust is baking, we're going to mix the filling up for our chess pie. And we're going to start by browning some butter. Now, this isn't a required step. You could just melt the butter, but can I tell you, browning the butter gives it such amazing flavor that it's totally worth the extra couple minutes to do this. So I'm gonna take my 1/4 cup of butter. I'm gonna put it in a small saucepan. Then we're gonna put it over medium heat and let the butter melt. And then we're gonna let the butter start to bubble and foam, and then it's magically gonna start to turn golden brown. And that's when we wanna pull it off the heat. Browned butter can go from brown butter to burnt butter really quickly. All right, you want to pour it into a bowl as soon as it starts to turn golden brown, because it's going to continue to heat in that pan and it can burn. Then into our butter, we're going to add 3/4 cup of granulated sugar and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Get it all out here. Let's just give that a mix. Can you smell that? No, you can't, but I can. That brown butter, it smells amazing. So good. All right, and then we're gonna add a pinch of salt. And then into that, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons. I'm using whole milk. You could use whipping cream. You could use half and half, kind of use what you've got on hand. And let me double check again, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to use 1/2 tablespoon of white vinegar. And a tablespoon of cornmeal. This is a very common traditional ingredient in chess pie, is the cornmeal. And then 2 eggs. We're going to mix all that together. Now it's going to be very soupy, very runny. All right, we're going to go grab our shortbread crust and we're ready to assemble our pie. I pulled our shortbread crust out and I let it cool for about 5 minutes or so, just to let it set up a bit, so that when we pour our filling on top, the filling stays on top. So we'll go ahead and add that to the crust. And then we're going to put this back into our 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes, or until it is set up, and I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. Our crack pie is done. As you can see, it is set in the middle, but it is still hot and bubbly around the edges, perfectly the way you want it. As this pie cools, it is going to set up and thicken. Now, the question is, do you wait until it's cooled to eat it? You can totally eat this warm, room temperature, even cold. It is delicious. As soon as it cools down, I'm going to sprinkle it with some powdered sugar and dig in. So thanks for joining me here in the kitchen today. Make sure you check out all my other recipes down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, do that, and I'll see you in the next video.